This morning, charges expected to be laid after a man was allegedly stabbed to death in Melbourne. Iran agrees to cease strikes against Israel, but there's a catch. South Australia's war on tobacco ramps up, fresh allegations of funding people smuggling.
Live across Australia, this is Sunrise Early News.
Good morning. Melbourne homicide detectives are expected to lay charges this morning after arresting a man following a stabbing death. A 25-year-old South Yarra man died after a pub brawl spilled out onto a Footscray street. Detectives last night arrested a 37-year-old Williamstown man who's believed to be known to the victim, with police not yet revealing the victim's identity. One of Australia's most wanted men evaded police for almost 3 decades and now he's been arrested in Greece. James Alamangas, wanted over a murder in 1999, allegedly fled to Greece days after the stabbing. After a failed extradition in 2003, Greek authorities took over. A routine police check found weapons and more than a dozen phones on his farm property. His father and partner also arrested for harbouring a criminal. However, his extradition back to Australia is still not guaranteed. As conflict in the Middle East sees fresh escalation, Aussies are being warned of further pain at the petrol bowser. Live to Rob Scott in the US. Rob, this new violence is likely to send fuel prices soaring again.
Yeah, it is. Sadly, that's right, Eddie. So after the most ferocious fighting we have seen in probably 2 months, with Iran and Israel trading waves of missile strikes at one another over the past 24 hours and the teetering truce really looking like it was on the brink of total collapse, we have seen the price of oil globally spike by 3%. That obviously likely to lead to higher petrol prices for Australians. Those prices also likely to push up the cost of just about everything else in the economy. But hopefully this price shock will be short-lived, because both Iran and Israel have pulled back. They have agreed to halt any further attacks, but also warning that they will respond with overwhelming force if the other side starts shooting again. Donald Trump has attempted to get things back on track. He's spoken to Benjamin Netanyahu this morning, the second time he's done that in less than a day, after which he posted on his Truth Social account, both sides are looking to do an immediate ceasefire. Final negotiations on peace are proceeding, subject to ignorance or stupidity getting in its way. Things should move quickly. But Eddie, as you know, we have heard this same line from the President for weeks now.
Yeah, watch this space. Thank you, Rob. South Australians who buy illegal tobacco products have been accused of helping to fund international people smuggling. The Police Minister made the claim as the war on dodgy outlets got a multi-million-dollar boost.
An impressive haul, but merely a puff of smoke.
This amount here in front of you represents actually only a very minuscule amount of the total amount of seizures.
Over the past 2 years, there's been a record number of inspections, fines and closures.
We are coming for you and you will face the full force of the law.
The feds today adding another $3 million to the war chest.
We'll have more people out there entering stores, searching stores, seizing product and applying for closure orders.
The Police Minister warning consumers of the broader impact of buying illegally.
You are helping to facilitate and fund international smuggling networks. International smuggling networks that don't just do tobacco, they also do drugs, they do weapons, and they also smuggle people.
While the war against illegal tobacco rages, positive numbers in the battle against smoking.
We have very clear evidence that daily smoking rates are decreasing in South Australia.
A drop from 10.6% in 2020 to 7.5% in 2025.
That is a big drop.
But the number of South Aussies vaping in that time has more than doubled.
We have a challenge with vaping, there is no doubt about that.
The government says it is now seeing the price of illegal tobacco starting to rise in some areas, thanks largely to enforcement efforts.
As soon as we're pushing them to another way to sell their product, it makes it harder, it's going to make it more costly, and it's going to reduce the illicit tobacco sales.
Ben Cashin, 7 News.
Pathologist, researcher and cancer pioneer Professor Richard Scolyer will be given a state funeral after he passed away from an aggressive form of brain cancer, aged 59. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, a personal friend and former neighbour of Professor Scolyer, announced a state funeral will be held with details yet to be formalised. The renowned melanoma researcher leaves behind his wife Katie, 3 children and, of course, an enduring legacy of medical research. New plans for Brisbane's 2032 Olympics have emerged with the city's Riverside reimagined. Former Aussie Olympians Tracy and Mark Stockwell have bought out South Brizzy's dairy factory and they have a bold transformation in mind. A Riverside Walk of Champions plus Olympic venues for rock climbing and skateboarding have been proposed, transforming the area into a party precinct for sport and entertainment during the Games. Checking Tuesday's weather now. Brisbane showers and 22 degrees. Sydney possible shower 21. Canberra 15. Melbourne mostly sunny and 19. Hobart partly cloudy 17. Adelaide 20. Perth showers developing 17. Darwin 31. Also to come on the Sunrise Early News, incredible footage. A diver comes face to face with a great white. Another concert controversy for this country singer. That's next on the Sunrise Early News.